I am such a fool because all this time I've been talking and I forgot to hit live. So what a start. Nathan O'Rourke passes to Eberhardt for 63 yards right off the hop for a touchdown. And it's already 6-0 for BC off of one play. "30 seconds into the game, and BC is already up 6-0. BC is trying to say, we want to go through Saskatchewan to be the dominant team in the West. Which I'm kind of glad that we're not playing BC, to be honest. And I do appreciate those people who are watching today's stream, not only on YouTube and X, but also on Twitch as well. Greatly appreciated. So this is, and they missed the extra point. Alford returns it for 31 yards to Saskatchewan 17. I mean, even if they returned it, it's only worth 2 points or a point anyways. So Sean White misses the extra point. So it's still 6-0 Saskatchewan. Let's just double check to make sure that we are live on Twitch channel. Okay, so we are live on Twitch. Just wanted to make sure. We gotta go back here and go to this. There we go. Colin Meyer kicks off for 66 yards to Saskatchewan 14. Alford returns for 24 yards to Saskatchewan 38. Pickett with the tackle. So this game pretty much means nothing to Saskatchewan, but it means everything to BC. So Saskatchewan doesn't care if they lose or not. Also, Trevor Harris throws to Tommy Neal for 9 yards to Saskatchewan 47. Finley with the tackle, so it's going to be 2nd and 1. Let's check to see. Okay, so we are live on YouTube as well. Cohen, who is the backup quarterback, rushes for 4 yards to Saskatchewan 51. Ben Haletic with the tackle. First down, Saskatchewan. With BC, you'll see like a lot of big throws. That with Saskatchewan, you won't see as much with Trevor Harris. So tomorrow on live stream, we will be taking a look at the Toronto Argonauts, and how their team's going to look next year going into the off season, because they're eliminated from the playoffs. At some point next week, we'll be taking a look at Ottawa and Edmonton once that information becomes available to the media. Next weekend, we have the East Final and West Final back-to-back on Saturday, 2:30 and 5:30. Then we have the week of the Grey Cup. We have the awards, which we will have the awards live on the channels as well. AJ Ouellette rushes for 1 yard to the Saskatchewan 52, so it's 2nd and 9. Harris passes to Keon Schaefer-Baker for 12 yards to the BC 46. Woods with the tackle, 1st down. And then AJ Ouellette rushes the middle for 6 yards to gain to BC 40. Matthew Betts with the tackle. And for all those people that are watching, if you want to watch this game, go to CFL.ca, go to video, click on CFL Plus. If you're in the States and or in Europe, you just got to sign up for an account, and then you can watch it for free. If you're in Canada, of course, you have to stick with TSN's feed on TV, unless you get a VPN, and then you can watch it online, which is what I'm doing on my iPad. Trevor Harris throws to Duncan Busby for 11 yards to BC 29, 1st down Riders. Longer drive of their own. Put it right there. Harris passes to Tommy Neal for 8 yards to BC 21, out of bounds. So it's going to be 2nd and 2, tackled by TJ Lee. I was going to say AJ Lee, but that's TJ Lee. Late night flush. Hello, my friends. From Twitch, sorry. Welcome to the stream. Cohen rushes for 1 yard to the BC 20. D. Williams with the tackle. So those don't know what this is the Canadian Football League. It's like the NFL, but it's in Canada. And today's the last day of the season. So there's 2 games yesterday, 2 games today. This game determines the playoffs for 4 different teams. Cohen rushes for 2 yards to the BC 18. It's going to be 1st down. So AJ Ouellette rushes for 9 yards to the BC 9. Kent Jr. with the tackle. I forgot to put BC stats up. Forgot to update my ticker for the BC Lions offense. So out of the 9-team league, only 6 teams make the playoffs. The top teams in each division get a bye to the division finals, and then seeds 2 and 3 in each division play each other to go on to the finals. AJ Ouellette rushed for 3 yards to the BC 6, 1st down. So it's a 2nd and goal from the 2. There's a penalty. Let's do what they're just short of that. Let's see what the penalty is. AJ Ouellette rushes for 1 yard to the BC 1. It's going to be BC offside, first down. So it's going to be a fresh set of downs for BC. So because it's already at the 1, they say half the distance. Well, you can't half a distance. You can't really go up anymore. So they just give you a nice fresh down starting at the first down. So it's first and goal with 7:01 left as BC leads 6-0. Cohen rushes for 1 yard to the BC end zone. There's a penalty on BC for offside, but it was declined for the touchdown. So because Saskatchewan's going to kick the extra point, and I assume that they got it because it's 7-6. Harris went 4 for 4 for 40 yards. AJ Ouellette. Carries 24 yards. 4 carries, 8 yards, 1 touchdown. Meals, receptions, 17 yards. 8 minutes to answer back. And we have, who is leading their team? Williams, okay. Williams, 3 tackles so far. Let's get that scroll going. So, like I was saying, during tomorrow's live stream between 1 and 3 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be taking a look at Toronto's stats from this past season. Who's re-signed, who's not re-signed, and how their team's going to look for the upcoming season. And then as teams' information comes along, we'll be doing live streams, and I'll be letting you know on X. And I'll be posting a schedule on the Twitch page. And then on YouTube, I'll be posting it on the community page as to when we will be doing our videos. So we have 18 people viewing this. So I do appreciate everyone for joining us tonight. Greatly appreciated. Hughes kicks off for 64 yards to the BC 16. 7 McGee returns it for 34 yards to the BC 50. So they're already at. So in the CFL this year, the midfield is 55. So he's already at 50. So he has to go 55 yards to get a touchdown. So you might as well say that you're at midfield already. So if I had to predict I would want BC to go to. So BC wins, they host Calgary. If Calgary and BC play, BC will beat Calgary, and then BC will go on to play Saskatchewan. If Winnipeg plays Montreal, Montreal will beat Winnipeg, and then Montreal will come to Hamilton. We'll go to Hamilton on the 8th of November for the East final, and then the West final will be that same day. So that East final, West final, I won't be doing because I'll be driving, going to the game, and then afterwards, for the Grey Cup final, I will be live streaming it on here. So the pregame show for the CFL is Black Eyed Peas, and then the halftime show is Machine Gun Kelly. I do have the Jays game on the side, Jake. So I'm watching both the CFL and the Jays. Nathan Rourke passes to Keon Hatcher for 25 yards to the Saskatchewan 35, first down BC. And they're already 35 yards away from scoring another touchdown. James Butler rushes for 6 yards to the Saskatchewan 29. Jameer Thurman with the tackle. So it's going to be 2nd and 4 from the Saskatchewan 35. Okay, so they say James Butler may rush for 4 yards and not 6. So it's the Saskatchewan 31 and 2nd and 6. And for those that did not watch the stream earlier, Bob Dice, the head coach of Ottawa Redblacks, was fired this afternoon. Sean Burke, the GM, is back for another season. So you can bet that the coaching staff for Ottawa will be different next year. And Nathan Rourke sacked for 11 yards to Saskatchewan 42. Malik Carney with the sack. Precious Destiny. The energy in this stream is unmatched. Thank you for the comment. Muchly appreciated. Sean White's field goal, 49 yards, is good. So BC makes it 9-7. Let's play a little. So now we got to update our tracker. 2 for 2 for 88. There, one carry. We have Carney and oops. 7-1 tackle. Carney, 1 sack. And then we have White, 1 for 1, 49-yard field goal. Okay, we'll put the ticket back on and when Precious goes, oh really? When is that? When is what? I'm not sure what you mean by when is that. Do 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 do. Ruth Lampert says, "Let's go Lions! Time to finish strong." AJ Ouellette rushes for 0 yards to Saskatchewan 40. Bell with the tackle. I'm not sure if prescience means when the Jays game's on. So Jays game's on in about half an hour. It's Toronto Blue Jays is Canada's baseball team, the only team in the MLB. So less than 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Harris passes to Keon Schaefer-Baker for 13 yards to Saskatchewan 53. Kent Jr. with the tackle, so it's going to be 1st and 10 at the Saskatchewan 53. AJ Ouellette rushes for 8 yards, gain to the BC 49. Bell with the tackle. Trevor Harris passes to Keon Schaefer-Baker for 6 yards to the BC 43. 1st down, Saskatchewan. TJ Lee for the tackle. Ruth says Lampard says Riders versus Lions. This one's going to be a battle. Yes, this one is going to be a battle to determine the last couple of playoff spots. Harris passes to AJ Ouellette for 9 yards to the BC 34 out of bounds. And we have 31 views so far. Muchly greatly appreciated everyone for coming out for tonight's live stream. Cohen rushes for 14 yards to the BC 20. 1st down versus Saskatchewan. So it's going to be 1st down at the BC 20. Jerry Smith Park says, hello, hosts. Hello, Jerry Smith Park. Thanks for stopping by and watching today's stream. Thomas Bertrand Hudon rushes for 1 yard to the BC 19, so it's 2nd and 9. Micah Awe with the tackle. So what did they say? Okay, yes, they're not saying what it was. Okay. 9-7 after the first quarter in Saskatchewan, as BC's playing to host Calgary. If BC loses, then BC plays Montreal in Montreal next week. And Winnipeg heads to Calgary to face the Stamps next Saturday. Oh, we have another. What? Precious Deborah goes, I swear this team always keeps it exciting. Are you talking about BC or are you talking about Saskatchewan? So we're up to 46 viewers tonight. Very much appreciated. Oh, while we do that, Precious goes, been following since day one, proud of the growth. Precious Destiny, thank you for those kind words, greatly appreciated. I try to do as much as I can. So, just so that everyone knows, so we cover Hamilton Ticats on here. We cover the Bridgeport Islanders, who will be coming to Hamilton next year. So we'll be covering. So that's why we're covering this. So BC's had 2 first downs and Saskatchewan's had 10. BC's had 88 passing yards and Saskatchewan's had 68. Oh, I didn't get finished off. Ruth says both teams coming in strong. This is going to be a good one. And then late night Flesh says, let's go BC Lions. So anyway, so that's why I'm covering Bridgeport this year. Trevor Harris passed incomplete to Duncan Busby, so it's 3rd and 9 from the BC 19, so they'll be kicking a field goal in a second. So that's why we're covering Bridgeport Islanders, because they'll be coming to Hamilton next year in the summer. And then their parent club, New York Islanders in the NHL, we kind of cover them and their prospects and them on our weekly recap. So, depending on tomorrow, I might be live streaming the Forge game. I don't know, depending on how long the first live stream is tomorrow. Worst case scenario, I might have a recap of the Forge game. I have to do a recap of the Ticat game last night and Bridgeport. Both teams won. Bridgeport plays tomorrow. I got to do a recap for that once that's done. So it's going to be a lot of content coming to the channel. And then I also have a gaming channel as well. Matt Hughes' field goal is 28 yards. So it's 10-9. Oops, no, we want to hide that because we got to fix this. So Harris. Interesting that Matt Chenet's out west. Usually Chenet does all these games. What is 7? Nathan Rourke passes to Justin McInnes for 28 yards to Saskatchewan 42. Go on. Schiff Baker 3 for 31. So Butler rushes for 0 yards to Saskatchewan 42. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the Saskatchewan 42. We have late night fresh as Saskatchewan always brings the heat. Muscles up. Late night fresh as I'll sure join your live stream tomorrow. Irene Webby says, good night vibes. Who you got, BC or Riders? Jemin says, can't wait for next stream already because your stream's so amazing. The game is already intense. Yes, David Messenger, it's already intense. When's your next live stream? So next live stream will be 1 to 3 tomorrow, because myself and my guest tomorrow will be going over the Toronto's changes and season recap and everything tomorrow. So that's our plan for tomorrow. Then I will have recap videos for different sports throughout the week if there's any news. Next Saturday, I will be doing 2 live streams like I did today, one in the early afternoon, one in the evening. We have The Tension's Real, Every Play Counts. Love the mix of humor and analysts from Destiny Precious. We have Nathan Rourke sacked for 12 yards to Saskatchewan 54. And the punter for BC just kicked it out of the end zone of BC, which is why BC got a single. So it's 10-10. Mayer punted it 73 yards. Late Night says Riders. So Late Night wants BC to go play Montreal in the East via crossover instead of BC going out west and hosting Calgary. Okay. Rough Riders got to step up their defense. I mean, they only had one big pass that round, and then they got stopped. So Riders are stepping up their defense. I just got to go here, and BC is 3 for 3. 116 yards, 1 touchdown. Butler, 2 carries. And Baldonado also has the sack. Woods and Williams. Woods tackles. Oh, wow. I just looked. 164 live streamers or people in the thing. Damn. That's crazy. Oh, perfect. We'll watch tomorrow's stream as well. Tomorrow, I can't wait. Just got to take a picture of this because my co-host of my stream channel won't believe me. Twitch. Oops. David Messenger says, oh, perfect. We'll watch this stream as well. And then Juman says, okay, can't wait to have you here. Perfect. So Harris throws 16 yards to the BC 54 because you got to remember, because Alfred gave up the single, they now get to go to the 40. So D. Williams got the tackle. D. Belly is the injured player on the field. Adriel rushes for 2 yards to the BC 52, so it's 2nd and 8. Precious goes, I appreciate how this channel focuses on strategy, not just highlights. So the recaps will be stats and highlights. And then live streams will be either information, events, or watch-alongs. Irene Webby is saying BC's offense is looking clean so far, minus a few hiccups and stuff like that. That's how you start getting momentum swing early. Yes, that I do agree with that. It's going back and forth, which is interesting. I just gotta pull it up a bit. Precious Deborah goes, yes, we are going to watch tomorrow because we love your stream. So we have Harris throws to Keon Schaefer-Baker for 17 yards to BC 35. Kent Jr. with the tackle. And then AJ Ouellette rushes for 4 yards to the BC 31. Dwayne Hendricks with the tackle. Trevor Harris rushes for 13 yards to the BC 18. Out of play. First down, Saskatchewan Rough Riders. So Harris passes to Tommy Neal for 11 yards to the BC 7. First down. Ooh, 117. Dang. Switch. AJ let rushes for 5 yards to the BC2. So we have 129 people just watching on Twitch. Dang. Yeah, it says, Juman says, everyone hit that like button. Yes, subscribe to the channel as well. You can tell both teams want to win this badly. 5-team props, yes. So you have BC, which is the top offense in the league. You have Saskatchewan, who is the top defense in the league. So they're battling for those points. Cohen rushes for 1 yard to the BC end zone for a touchdown. So it's 16-10 with an extra point still to go. So you know what that means. We got to play this video. Wow, I just looked and we're already up to 171. Let's go. See, the thing is, I didn't have a Twitch channel for this channel earlier this afternoon. So had I have known that, I would have had all these people join me earlier today. But because I didn't, this is the first time I'm streaming on Twitch, so I'm glad I did. So we have Precious Destiny say every time you go live, it's a master class. It's a sports master class. So now we got to update Saskatchewan. So they're 10 for 11, 12. Gillette has 11, 43. Cohen has 6, 23 yards, 2 touchdowns. Schaefer Baker's 5 for 5, 64. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. 6 tied for 1 tackle. We only have 2 sacks. Okay. And save. So Hughes kicks the extra point, so it's 17-10. So that means that BC or Saskatchewan kicks off to BC. They don't start at their 40 unless it's a field goal or an extra point. I don't want Saskatchewan to win. I want BC to go west, not east. Bum, 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 bum. Did it update on Twitch for tomorrow's live stream? Where are we at? I'll come up with a pro. You've unlocked new emojis for enabling. Oh, nice. So Lions got a pyramid penalty. So they had to re-kick off. So BC had a pyramid penalty, which is kind of like if you go down and you jump over, I think it is. So they had to re-kick again. So they kicked 90 yards to the BC 20. Sev McGee returns it and gives up the single. So it is now 18-10. So they need a touchdown and a 2-point convert. Late night fresh says who's winning this. My bet's on BC Lions. Well, BC's losing by 8 right now with 7:23 to go in the second quarter. Precious Destiny says another great stream. What game should they cover next? So game wise, we have the East final and the West final next Saturday. Then a week Wednesday, I believe, we will have the award show live on X, Twitch, and YouTube. That's after the East final, so that's 2 weeks Wednesday. Then on the 8th of November is the East and West final. I will be at the East final, so I will not be streaming that weekend. But we will show the highlights of that game, and we will do a live recap. And then the Grey Cup is November 16th. It's a Sunday, I think. 112 Grey Cup. It is on the 16th. Yeah, so that's Sunday. Nathan Rourke throws to Eberhardt for 7 yards to BC 47. Red Wine. Now, there isn't a last name. Red Wine gets the tackle. Ogfaz, thanks for the comment, says, both teams are giving us a show tonight at Hamilton Sports Central. Riders defense needs to wake up or it's over. Riders defense is winning. I don't know what you're saying that they need to wake up before it's over. 99 or 21 says, go Riders. Rich, listen, we want BC to win because we don't want BC to play Montreal. BC could win, stay in the East, and we will take Winnipeg in the West. Abacati says, I'm here for touchdowns and drama with a laughing emoji. Very funny. Zorath rushes for 3 yards to the BC 50. Bennett Jr. with the tackle. Come on, BC, get your crap together. Mazoy rushes for 0 yards to the BC 50. Saskatchewan has an offside penalty. And they go from the 50 to the 55, and it's first down BC. Let's go, BC Lions. You guys can battle with Calgary next week. We'll take Winnipeg. Because then I'm nervous if we have BC in the East against Montreal. Addy Caddy says, we want BC as well. Precious goes, wow, I love the way you schedule streams, and we'll surely come around. Okay, Precious, appreciate that. We have 177 viewers. Nathan Rourke, you dumb shit. You threw an interception. Oh, for Pete's sake. I mean, that interception doesn't help. Then the sack to begin in the second quarter did not help. So Nathan Rourke passed interception by Nelson Lacombo at the Saskatchewan 30. Lacombo returns for 14 yards to the BC 44, tackled by Katoy. Jake Mayer is now in the game. He throws to Ajo at BC 25, broken up by Carter. So it's 2nd and 10 at the Saskatchewan 44. But, Rich, we want BC to win because then BC stays in the West with Calgary. I will take Winnipeg against Montreal. If BC wins or BC loses, then that means that BC comes to Montreal. Nathan Rourke plays David Alexander, and I'm nervous for that game. That's why I'm saying I want BC to win because then Winnipeg comes over to the East. And Saskatchewan throws a pick. Let's go. Finley with the pick. So Jake Mayer throws pass interception to Finley at the BC 53. Finley returns it 5 yards to Saskatchewan 52. A Joe with the tackle. Let's go BC. What's your highlight tonight so far? I'd have to say the first play of the game, that was a touchdown for 63 yards. Tammy Thomas 140 says, go Lions. Yes, Tammy. We want Lions to beat the Riders. Because a lot of Argo fans, some Argo fans that I know are Rider fans. So we want... So Nathan passes to Hatcher for 21 yards to Saskatchewan 31. Sap the third with the tackle, first down. So we have 137 people in, or 140 now within a matter of seconds over on Twitch. Jem Yoon says, wow, that's amazing. And then Yuga Foz says, roar Lions. Let's go. If you can interview one local athlete, who would it be? Okay. So are we talking local as where I am, or as in like local as in Canadian? Finley rushes for 2 yards to Saskatchewan 7 before Butler. Rourke passed Butler for 22 yards to Saskatchewan 9, and then the Finley rush. So it's second and goal from the 7. So Rich, did you see that Ottawa fired their head coach earlier today? So you can bet Tommy Condell will not be with Ottawa anymore. I mean, I would think that BC would, or I would think Ottawa would come back and hire a new coordinator in Ottawa. So it just had the 3-minute warning, because in the CFL we have 3-minute warnings. NFL, they have 2-minute warnings, so it's 2:50 left in the second quarter before halftime, before we take a look at the team stats and who leads each team. So I'm not going to update the tracker until halftime. Do you think refs are being fair tonight? Darius Daniels from Toronto is on the panel for tonight. If you're asking me about the Montreal game earlier, there was some very questionable calls in that game. None for this game yet. Nathan Rourke threw incomplete to McInnes at the Saskatchewan 2. So that is third and goal at the Saskatchewan 7. So Sean White kicks the field goal, and it's now 18-13 for Saskatchewan. Thomas Bertrand Hudon rushes for 6 yards to Saskatchewan 46. It's weird that Sinead's on the West Coast for this game. Jake Mayer throws to Adjo for 15 yards to BC 49. TJ Lee with the tackle. First down, Riders. First down, Riders. So 171 people in here between Twitch, YouTube, and X. Much appreciated, everyone that's in here. We're already at 59 minutes and 34 seconds and counting. We still have halftime and the second half to go. Jake Mayer throws to Tommy Niels for 13 yards to BC 39. Finley with the tackle. First down, Riders. If you were a coach, what would you change? Coach of my local team or one of the teams that's playing tonight? Jake Mayer pass to Duncan Busby for 13 yards to the BC 19. Kent Jr. with the tackle. So it's first and 10. Oh, also, I got to check. Oh, no, they don't play today. Jake Merritt throws to Duncan Busby for 13 yards. Oh, I just read that. Boo. Down to 44 yards. Saskatchewan leaves Jake Merritt in the game, and Jake Merritt fumbles the ball. He hasn't been touched. Why would you call the play? He hasn't been touched. That's so dumb. It's like, how can you call that if he wasn't touched? James Butler rushes for 2 yards to the BC 26. $99 or 21 says go Lions. Who was it that started the game? I think it was. So it was BC who started. So most likely Saskatchewan. I'm not in Saskatchewan, so I don't know if there's wind or not. Nathan Rourke throws to Katoy for 10 yards to BC 36. Rourke, you're going to have to throw some long bombs, my friends. Rourke throws to Keelan Hatcher for 11 yards to BC 47. 9 seconds left. So that is halftime. Let's update our tracker before we go into the team stats. Rourke is 9 of 11. One interception. $70 and a touchdown. And the weight is 2 for 2. $49 and $14. Yes, that is absolutely wild. Okay, so we are going to go to look at team stats. BC has 11 passing attempts for 195, 17.7%. Saskatchewan has 16 pass attempts for 153, 9.6%. BC Lions have 5 rushes for 11 yards, 2.2%. And Saskatchewan has 22 rushes for 85%, 3.9%. BC has 2 losses for 23 yards. They have 18 total plays for 140 or 181 yards, 10.4 on average. Saskatchewan has 38 plays for 238, 6.3. BC has 7 rushes for first downs. Saskatchewan has 10 rushes and 7 passes for first downs. Saskatchewan has 2 sacks for 23 yards. BC's 1 for 5 for 20%. Saskatchewan has 12 for 16 for 73.3%. BC has 1 interception given, and Saskatchewan has 1 giveaway and 1 interception. Saskatchewan has 1 fumble for loss. BC's has 1 penalty for 1 yard, and Saskatchewan has 2 for 20. BC is 0 for 1 in the red zone. Saskatchewan's 2 for 4, 50% in the red zone. 1 interception for Saskatchewan, or 1 for 7 for BC for the interceptions for yards, and 1 interception for Riders for 14 yards. No fumbles. BC's 2 for 2 on field goals for 49 yards. Saskatchewan's 1 for 1 for 28 yards. BC has 1 punt for 73. Saskatchewan hasn't punted yet. No punt return yards. The BC is 2 kickoffs for 60 yards, average of 30. And then Saskatchewan has 1 punt for 1 kickoff for 24 yards. And then 10 minutes and 7 seconds for time possession with BC. And Saskatchewan has 19 minutes and 53 seconds for time possession with Saskatchewan. Jimin says they should sub in some fresh players right now. So, Riders have taken out their star players and put in their backups because they don't want to lose them for the playoffs. And then Precious Destiny says, who deserves the player of the month? So, CFL actually does player of the week, not player of the month. And they do it per position, so it's still hard to say who it would be per position. Because I didn't watch Calgary's game. This game's half over, so who's to say who does well in the second half? Give me 1 second here. Got a message. And don't mind me. I went and picked up my supper earlier, but I didn't have a chance to eat it because by the time I got back, I had to rush back before I was late for the stream. So I'm just going to have a little bite while we wait for the second half to begin. And if anyone has any questions or anything, I'm happy to answer. So, I have brown rice, 2 orders of seasoned pork chops, and some grilled chicken. Just watching the Jays game in the background. That's not Chase. So it's first inning. Freeman has a 2-2 count, 2 out. As it's game 2 in the World Series, Jays are leading 1-0. Oh. Dodgers scored 1-0. You play like shit. Because your team is shit, Mark Dubois. Or Francis Dubois. I would hate to look at the fans, too, if my team is 4-14. And that's also a good point, because Bob Dice got an extension last year, and Otto released him. Bob Dice gets to sit at home for a year and collect pay and not even work. I wish I could sit at home for a year and collect pay and not work. Teoscar Hernandez up to bat. Count is 1-0, 2 outs still. Dodgers lead 1-0. As Guzman just threw a strike, so it's 1-1, 2 outs. 1-2, 2 strikes is the count, 2 outs. As Hernandez hit its foul. So we get to another strikeout here to end the inning. And he gets him. Hernandez first strikeout as it's bottom of the first, and the Jays batters are going up to bat. So if Islanders win today, which I got to do a video for, they are still in the wild card spot. Sorry about that. Late night flashes H. H as in what? Hello? Hell? What's H? So, late night flash. So, basically, we have game today. So, after this game season's over, next weekend we have 2 playoff games, both on Saturday. The following weekend, we have 2 games on Saturday, but I won't be live streaming because I'll be at the game on the Saturday. The 16th, I will be live streaming the championship game. And then after the championship game, I will be doing videos in the off season. The February 10th, I am doing a all-day live stream on the 10th, and a live stream on the 11th with CFL free agent news. So that will be from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, both days. And then, so we'll announce all the big signings on, I think it's the 10th, that day of free agency that begins at noon. I will have all kinds of stuff to announce and everything that day. Day 2, we will do more signings, if any to happen. And then we'll recap day 1. And then as signings come out throughout the rest of the offseason, we'll announce them as well. Training camp or draft, we will cover the draft. That's in May. Beginning of May. And then usually a week after the NFL draft. And then 2 weeks later, rookie camp begins. And then training camp begins Victoria Day weekend in May. So there will be lots of time for coverage on the channel. And like I said, even if I don't do CFL sports, there will be other sports that I will be doing in the off season too. So you guys, Fuzz, they have an 18-13 lead at halftime. So the third quarter is still about to begin, so we have 2 quarters left before this game's over. Let's see what Twitter sphere is saying. Um, So Mayer kicks off for 65 yards to Saskatchewan 15. Alfred returns for 31 yards to Saskatchewan 46. Mayer pass complete to Tommy Niels for 6 yards to Saskatchewan 52. And then he passes to Picton for 3 yards to Saskatchewan 55. So it's 3rd and 1. And what did my co-host just say to me? He said nice. Okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So we have Guerrero up to bat. Runners on first and second. Count is 1 ball, 0 strikes. Cohen rush for 0 yards to the Saskatchewan 55. Turnover on down. So BC Lions take over on the Saskatchewan 55. Vladdy Guerrero Jr. has 2 balls, 0 strikes on 2 outs, or 0 outs, sorry. Guerrero just got a strike, so it's 2-1 in the count, 0 outs. Nathan Rourke throws to Stanley Berryhill III for 43 yards to Saskatchewan 12. BC's still not out of this yet folks. 2-2 for Guerrero, 0 outs. Guerrero hit it foul, so it's 2-2 on the count. Nathan Rourke throws it incomplete to Berryhill at the Saskatchewan 1, so it's 2nd and 10 at the Saskatchewan 12. And Vladdy Guerrero strikes out, so that's their first out. I thought I heard a whistle. Wow. So did I. I thought I heard a whistle. to the previous play. So basically what had happened was he fumbled it at the goal line. Rough Riders ran it all the way back for a touchdown, and now the play is being reviewed. Abby Kadabi says, Lions can still come back. Don't count them out. That is exactly true. They can still come back. But if this... Oh, two outs. 2 outs for Toronto with runners on the corners. If this counts, Saskatchewan's up by 11. If this counts, then it could be a touchdown for BC. Oh, so because the play was whistled, Saskatchewan does not get that touchdown after returning it 108 yards. So they get the ball at the Saskatchewan 3 because there's that whistle. I thought I heard a whistle. So they went from 11 to 11:18 to 11:32. And now it's Saskatchewan's ball. So Thomas Bertrand Houdon rushes for 11 yards to Saskatchewan 14. So it's still 18-13. Jake Mayer passes to Tommy Neal for 8 yards to Saskatchewan 22. Robbie Kent Jr. with the tackle. 291 viewers. Let's go. Very much appreciated for all those people that are watching today's stream. Marshall with a full count. And he struck out. So Jays leave runners on first and second. And it's bottom of 2. So we are up to, let me look this up. We are up to 60 people on YouTube, 162 people on Twitch, which is amazing. Much appreciated. And then we have on X, I don't even know how many we have on X. Mara throws incomplete to Shane Bain Jr. at the Saskatchewan 28. Carter breaks it up, and now the punter is coming to kick it out at 3-2 at the Saskatchewan 22. Let's see what people's comments. Viewers. So Mirko punts 44 yards to the BC 44. Seth McGee returns 31 yards to Saskatchewan 35. Thomas Bertrand Hudon with the tackle. So BC just needs a point or a win to send Winnipeg to the east. A loss, BC goes to the east and Winnipeg stays west. But a point or a tie, or a win or a tie, Winnipeg goes east. Let me just double check this. People are saying that BC or McLeod Bethel Thompson's done in Montreal, so that means that Montreal should be looking for a backup next year. Butler rushes for 5 yards to Saskatchewan 30. Nathan Rourke's already at 254 yards on 12 passes. Nathan Rourke passes to James Butler for 8 yards to Saskatchewan 22. Nathan Rourke throws to Eberhardt for 22 yards to Saskatchewan end zone for a touchdown, and they take a 1-point lead with still to kick the extra points. So, Rourke, 13, 16, 275, and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. Eberhardt has 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ooh, Lions are going to go for 2. So their 2-point convert failed, so they're only up by 1 point. Okay, so then we got to put Mirror, 649, 54 yards. Cohen has 7 for 23, 2 touchdowns, okay. And 564. And was that Allen and who? Aubrey Miller Jr. So Alan Miller Jr. Kearney. Okay, and then Macombo. Okay. Save. Sure. Bum 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 bum. Dun dun do 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 do. So Mayer kicks off for 65 yards to Saskatchewan 15. Alford returns for 29 yards to Saskatchewan 44. Auclair with the tackle, and there's a holding penalty on BC. Set for 10 yards to the Saskatchewan 35, or go from the 35 to the 25. Jake Merritt throws to Tyler Neald for 9 yards to Saskatchewan 34. Williams with the tackle. So second one at Saskatchewan 34. Thomas Bertrand Hudon rushes for 4 yards to the Saskatchewan 38. TJ Lee with the tackle. It's going to be a first down, Riders. Yugas Flaws says, yes, Lions. Yes, I agree. Because then you can, because here's the thing. If BC wins, BC and Calgary will play. If BC and Calgary, these teams will meet in the West final. And then you have the best offense versus the best defense. That's why I want BC in the West, because I want to see the best offense against the best defense, and the winner represents the West in the Grey Cup. Hudon rushes for 6 yards to Saskatchewan 44. Finley with the tackle. Mayer passes to Duncan Busby, thrown incomplete, broken up by TJ Lee at the BC 27. Marco punts it for 62 yards to the BC 4. Seb McGee returns it for 15 yards to the BC 19. I don't know what I wanted to do. Nathan Rourke passes incomplete to Zorvath at the BC 22, 2nd and 10. Nathan Rourke throws to Keon Hatcher at BC 19 for 1 yard to the BC 20. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 for BC at the 20-yard line. So we update this. Saskatchewan. Mayor's 7 of 11. 63 yards. On IT. Oops. Bertrand. Jake Mayer throws to Tommy Neild for 9 yards to Saskatchewan 34. Williams with the tackle. And then Thomas Bertrand rushes for 4 yards to Saskatchewan 38. TJ Lee with the tackle. Oh, wait. Never mind. I've already read that. Never mind. We're at this. Mayer punts 58 yards to Saskatchewan 32. Mark Alford rushes for 4 yards to Saskatchewan 36. Passant with the tackle. Good stress again. Hudon had 6 carries. 64. Mayer passes to Bain Jr. for 8 yards to Saskatchewan 44. Bertrand Hudon rushes for 2 yards to the Saskatchewan 46. Dwayne Hendricks with the tackle. So it's going to be 3rd and inches at the Saskatchewan 46. Trent Koch says 19 to 18 for BC, 2:38 left in the third quarter. So without TV timeouts, commercials, and everything, there's about 17 minutes and 38 seconds. But with TV timeouts, commercials, whatnot, probably looking at about like another hour and a bit. Cohen has a 1 yard rush for 40 to the 47, and he gets the first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Saskatchewan out to 47. Bertrand Hudon rushes for 0 yards to the Saskatchewan 47. Woods with the tackle. So it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the Saskatchewan 47. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Precious says these streams keep me connected to the game. Love it. Thank you. Last quarter. We are going into the last quarter. Whoever leads at the end of this quarter will be the victor. BC leads 19-18. Mayer passes it to Picton for 15 yards to BC 38. Kent Jr. with the tackle. First down, Saskatchewan. Mayer throws Duncan Busby for 13 yards to the BC 25. Kent Jr. with the tackle once again. Mayer throws incomplete to a JoJo to BC 19, tackled by TJ Lee. So it's 2nd and 10 at the BC 25. Oh, there's a flag on the play. Saskatchewan called a timeout before the play. So you have Vladdy hit a almost home run. So you have runners on first and second and 1 out in the bottom of the third. Kirk is up to bat, 0-1 so far tonight. Jake Mayer was sacked 9 yards to the BC 34. Betts with the tackle. So it's 3rd and 19. #15 sack of the year for Matthew Betts. Kirk flies out. It's 2 outs. Runner tags at third, and it's 1-1 in the World Series Game 2. Springer runs home to tie it 1-1. And Guerrero's still at first. And Hughes kicks the field goal. And it's a 21-19 with 12:09 left in the fourth. So we have Precious Destiny says keep showing that Hamilton spirit. BC's late night sweat flesh says, wow, Team BC. Rich says tie ball game. Oh yeah, because right in front of me I have obviously the screen. I have on my tablet the CFL game. To my left I have the Toronto game that I just put on. But thanks for the update. Do you guys prefer live reactions or post games analysts? So, depends. Because if I can live stream it, then there's live reactions. But if I'm at the game, you won't be able to see the live reactions. But when I do the Hamilton post-game show, the post-game video, then you'll be able to see the live reaction when I talk about that part in the game. So it all depends. Nathan Rourke throws an incomplete pass to Justin McInnes at the 54, broken down by Fields. So it's 2nd and 10 at the BC 40. Nathan Rourke throws complete to Eberhardt for 9 yards to the BC 49. Red Wine has the tackle, 3rd and 1 at the BC 49. Excellent. So Rourke gets a 5-yard rush to the BC 54. Lacombo with the tackle. First down, BC. Abby Kadabi says, did you say catch which? The Eberhardt one? Sure, there's 7 fresh players now. Just Butler rushes for 0 yards to Saskatchewan 54, so it's 2nd and 10. Nathan Rourke throws to Jonathan Catoy for 7 yards to the Saskatchewan 49. So it's going to be 3 and 3. 3rd and 3. So it's going to be a 51-yarder field goal if they go for it. So they're going to punt. So Colin Mayer punts it for 40 yards to Saskatchewan 9. Shane Bain Jr. returns it for 11 yards to Saskatchewan 20. Passant with the tackle. Oh, Hernandez is 0-2 on the count with 2 outs. Is Guzman going to strike him out here? He's at 47 pitches at the top of the 4th. And the game's tied 1-1. And he strikes him out for his 3rd strike. So it's going to be bottom of 4 and Jay's up to bat. So BC wins. I'm just going to post it like this. I will delete that then. Delete. Nope. More. Delete. Delete one. Everyone. Samara throws to Joe for 13 yards to Saskatchewan 33. TJ Lee with the tackle. Marin throws to Joe for 2 yards to Saskatchewan 35, so it's going to be 2nd and 8. Marin throws incomplete to Picton to the Saskatchewan 44, broken up by Bridges, so it's 3rd and 8 from the Saskatchewan 35. Let's see if he's gotten back to me. So Merkel punts 51 yards to the BC 24. Seven McGee returns 13 yards to the BC 37. Patrick with the tackle. This is going to be interesting. Nathan Rourke throws to Justin McInnes for 10 yards to the BC 47, 1st down BC. And then Nathan Rourke throws to Justin Catoy. for 11 yards to Saskatchewan 52. Miller Jr. with the tackle. So it's 1st and 10 from Saskatchewan 52. Precious Destiny said, if you had 10 seconds on a mic, what would you tell the team? I would honestly bring up the Herb Brooks Miracle on Ice speech, if you wanted me to be honest. Nathan Rourke passes to Katoy for 30 yards. Saskatchewan 22. Fields with the tackle, 1st down. Nathan Rourke passes to Justin McInnes for Saskatchewan. 18-yard line, or at the 18-yard line for 7 yards to Saskatchewan 15. Nathan Rourke throws to Stanley Berryhill for 8 yards to Saskatchewan 7. Miller Jr. with the tackle. Nathan Rourke throws incomplete to Keon Hatcher in the end zone. So it's 2nd and 7 from the Saskatchewan 7-yard line. But the previous play is under review. Oh, there's a flag on. Oh, he did catch that. So so it's not a flag, it's a review. Touchdown, BC. Let's go. Lions are up by 4. So they're going for 2. So if they go for 2, then it's a 6-point game. And they get the 2-point convert. .341 left. Mare kicks off 70 yards to the BC 50 or Saskatchewan 50. Shane Bain Jr. returned for 29 yards or 30 yards to the Saskatchewan 39 out of bounds. 3:33 left. Can't get any better. So here's the thing: if you have home field advantage and you get really good crowds, it can get so loud that the quarterback can't hear the play in the headphones. That is amazing, though. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Bertrand Houdon rushes for 3-yard gain to Saskatchewan 42. Bell with the tackle. So I appreciate all of the views on what is it? YouTube. 175 likes. Very much appreciated for that. And 168 people that are watching over on Twitch. And then however many people are watching over on X. So Mare throws to Neal for 11 yards to Saskatchewan 53. Renee with the tackle. It's first down Saskatchewan. It's 2 minutes and 32 seconds left, and we have the 3-minute warning. Late Night Flesh says, we appreciate you too. Very much appreciated for those kind comments. So now we just got to get the followers. So those that haven't yet on Twitch, don't forget to follow along too, so that you'll be notified once we go live over on Twitch. Thanks, Rich. We will be interesting to see you in the East Final. Oh, Jimenez hits foul. It's 0-1 count, 0 outs. Bottom of 5, tied 1-1. So BC's up by 6. Mare throws to Picton for 11 yards, but it's holding on Saskatchewan, so it's back 10 yards, so it's 1st and 20. Precious says, it was very nice having you here. Why, thank you. So Jimenez flies out. So it's 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. Jake Mare throws to Bertrand Houdon for 12 yards to the 55. So basically, where they just were, where they are now to where they were, basically. Springer up to bat, Mr. October. So that'd be first and 20. So it'll be second and 8. So I have one. So I have my Amos one, then I have my Cachetonius white one, then I have my Simone gray one. Oh, Joe's in. Oh, getting up slowly. Mayer throws to Joe for 12 yards to BC 43, but he gets up injured. It is a blackout game next. But again, even if you aren't wearing a black jersey, I'm sure you can wear something black. Even if it's like a hoodie. Like I have a black tie-cat hoodie you can wear. That's black. Jake Mayer pass incomplete to Duncan Busby. So it's second and 10 at the BC 43. So it's second and 10 at BC 43, minute 39 left. Nathan Rourke is at 368 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jake Mayer throws to Keon Schaefer-Baker for 4 yards. And it's going to be at the BC 39. So Mayer goes to throw, passing complete. It's turnover on downs with a minute 23 left. Saskatchewan's challenging for defensive pass interference.
To everyone standing in support of the people you love, thank you. Now, our friends at MasterCard are proud to bring you a special performance from the Jonas Brothers of I Can't Lose, dedicated to everyone standing up to cancer.
Jonas Brothers performing at the Rogers Center. Interesting. So no defensive pass interference. So there you have 1 touchdown left, and it's a minute 23. Oh, and they lose their last team timeout, so they have no timeouts left. Late Night Flesh says bye. Thanks for joining the stream. Much appreciated. He said he enjoyed the game. So those that don't know, at the Jays game, they just did everyone held up signs to honor those for cancer. So now the Jonas Brothers are performing at the Rogers Center as like a tribute paid by MasterCard. So Butler rushes for 2 yards to the BC 40, and then Butler rushes for 11 yards to the BC 51. Butler rushes for 4 yards to the BC 55. Nathan Rourke kneels down for a 2-yard loss, so it's 3rd and 8. Oh no, I picked Winnipeg, so I lost at that point. So the game's over. BC wins 27-21. BC plays host to Calgary. Winnipeg comes to Montreal next Saturday. So winner of BC Calgary plays Saskatchewan on the 8th. Winner of Montreal Winnipeg comes to Hamilton on the 8th. So that is the game for now. Do you appreciate everyone for stopping by and all those people that were here for today's stream? Whether you're from YouTube, Twitch, X, very much appreciated. Rich says, Rick, you got your rich good stream. Thank you very much. And I do appreciate everyone for stopping by. This is Rick from Hamilton Sports Central. We're going to be back tomorrow afternoon from 1 to 3 or 1 to 3:30. And we are going to be going over everything Argos so that any Argo fans, they want to know who's back next year, who's not. Going into free agency, people can still get re-signed. You never know. But with that being said, I appreciate everyone for stopping by, and have yourselves a great night. Rest your night. Peace.